video, we're going to be talking about what is the Uniform Bar Exam, or what is the UBE. So the UBE is still relatively new. It was first administered in 2011, and since then it has soared in popularity. Currently, more than half of our jurisdictions administer the Uniform Bar Exam. So let's talk about what it is. There are three parts or components to the Uniform Bar Exam: the MBE, or the Multi-State Bar Exam, the Multi-State Essay Examination, or the MEE, and then the Multi-State Performance Test, or the MPT. So let's talk about each. Turning first to the MBE, or the Multi-State Bar Exam. So this is a multiple choice examination. It consists of 200 questions that's administered over a 6-hour period of time. And those 6 hours are broken into 2 chunks. So 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. And you have to answer 100 questions in each 3-hour window. So 100 questions in the morning and 100 questions in the afternoon. The MBE counts as 50% of your total UBE score. And the purpose of the MBE is to assess your ability to apply those fundamental legal principles as well as legal reasoning to specific fact patterns. The MBE will cover the following 7 subjects: civil procedure, constitutional law, contracts and sales, criminal law and criminal procedure, evidence, real property, and torts. Each of those 7 MBE subjects are tested equally with 25 questions. So that means you will experience or be confronted with 25 experimental questions as well. Turning to the MEE, or the Multi-State Essay Examination. So this portion of your exam will consist of 6 30-minute essay questions, and is worth a total of 30%. Broken down, this means each question is worth about 5% of your total Uniform Bar Examination score. And unlike the Multi-State Bar Exam, the MEE is an essay exam, so it requires examinees to be able to communicate effectively in writing. And the National Conference of Bar Examiners, the people who write and administer this test, is very specific as to what it's trying to test with the MEE. According to the NCBE, the MEE tests your ability to identify legal issues raised by hypothetical factual situations, separate material which is relevant from that which is not, present a reasoned analysis of the relevant issues in a clear, concise, and well-organized fashion, and to demonstrate an understanding of the fundamental legal principles relevant to the probable solutions of the issues that have been raised by that factual situation. And the Multi-State Essay Exam tests a broad range of subjects, and one question could test multiple subjects. For instance, your torts question might be testing some agency principles as well. So those subjects that are fair game on the MEE portion of your exam are business associations. So this means agency, partnership, corps, and limited liability companies. Civil procedure, conflict of laws, constitutional law, contracts and sales, criminal law and criminal procedure, evidence, family law, real property, torts, trusts and estates, and secured transactions. Now, let's turn to that third component of your Uniform Bar Exam, the MPT, or the Multi-State Performance Test. So this consists of 2 90-minute real-world legal tasks, and together these 2 tasks make up 20% of your total score. And the MPT is rather unique in comparison to the other portions of the exam we just talked about. And that's because you don't have to have any substantive legal knowledge to complete the task at hand. What happens here is that the MPT is really designed to evaluate certain fundamental skills that the NCBE believes lawyers need. So examples of MPT tasks include drafting an objective memo, a persuasive brief, or demand letters, for instance. So the MPT will require you to do the following: sort detailed factual materials and separate relevant from irrelevant facts. Analyze statutes, cases, and administrative materials for the applicable principles of law. Apply the relevant law to the relevant facts in a manner that's likely to resolve your client's problems. Identify and resolve ethical dilemmas if they present themselves. Communicate effectively in writing, and complete these lawyerly tasks within the time constraints. So when you do an MPT, you're provided with a file and a library. Your file consists of any sort of documentation, including the facts that you will need to complete the tasks. So maybe it has a deposition transcript or some pleadings in it. The library, on the other hand, has all of the legal material or law that you will need to complete the task. So maybe there's some cases and statutes. Maybe it's just cases, for instance. Your job is to read both the file and the library and extract what is relevant to complete the task at hand. Remember, the MPT is a closed universe assignment, so that's why you don't need to know anything to complete the task. They give you all of the applicable law in your library. So the benefit of the Uniform Bar Exam is that it's uniformly administered. This means you can take your score and transfer it to a different jurisdiction. And it's also uniformly graded, which is nice, but each jurisdiction is able to set its own passing score. So you want to make sure you check with your jurisdiction to ensure you know their criteria. We hope you know a little bit more about the Uniform Bar Exam.